Welcome back. Welcome back. Let's look at the leading lady of Berserk. So this is Casca from the manga Berserk, which, if you're new here, is my favorite thing ever. So I tend to get pretty excited whenever I can review a new Berserk figure. Casca is an extremely important character in Berserk. She is the love of Guts' life. A big part of Guts' character arc is realizing just how important she is to him and being able to let go of his path of vengeance in order to find a way to improve her life in any way he can, in spite of what happens to her in the story. And before the terrible thing happens, Casca was an excellent fighter and just a really cool character. I love the way actually this happens a lot in Berserk, but I notice it the most with Casca. There's this thing Kentaro Miura does where he draws characters' faces like almost like dead-eyed and focused when they're fighting, like when they're not enraged and, you know, doing a battle cry or something. Whenever they're like cutting someone down, it's very like they look very focused and maybe a little scared. It like this that type of expression says a lot. And I'm mad that like no Berserk figure has a faceplate with this option. It bugs me. Anyway, let's open this box already. No. I said to myself I wasn't going to make that happen this time. All right, here's our new toy. Let's play with it. Okay, let's check out articulation, part swaps, things like that. And you know, right out of the gate, this is wonderful. Like, this is such a nice interpretation of Casca. Like they got her darker skin tone right, and like the colors are just really nice. It feels like a Figuarts, you know, so it has that, you know, that nice posability. Well, it doesn't feel cheap, but maybe not quite as fancy as a Figma, which like that might be more noticeable for me since I just reviewed Skull Knight. But yeah, this feels great. Very bummed that there's no articulation cut here. So like, you know, this is a very, you know, nice looking piece of armor here, but man, I don't know, like they really, that is disappointing. Like I would be able to get like way cooler poses out of this figure if I could, you know, do a little bit of an ab crunch there, but you know, can still get some pretty good character here. Yeah, definitely as far as articulation, things look pretty good. We got drop down hips maybe? Nope. No drop down hips. But I do really like that this is a cloth goods skirt because it does not hinder articulation at all, as you can see. Um, so everywhere except for the torso, I think moves great. You know, these shoulder pads just get out of your way. The arms can move around nicely. There's a pretty solid, I don't know if I want to call it a butterfly joint, but quite a bit of articulation in the shoulders. So you know, she does often use her sword two-handed, so she can do that no problem at all. All right, so articulation is pretty good, aside from one choice they made. I'm just going to call it a choice. So let's swap some hands. Ooh, that that was a good pop, but man, that sounded like a break, didn't it? I am so worried about wrist joints all the time. Let's see here. Let's grab another hand. Oh, it popped on nicely. Say hi, Casca. So yeah, that works just fine. Let's see how they handled the scabbard. So they did the thing where the scabbard is not actually hollow. There's just a little slot in the top, and there's a version of the sword that's just a handle you can pop in, or you can take that away and grab one of the gripping hands. These hand swaps on these super tiny wrist joints are kind of stressful, as it requires a good amount of force on a tiny part. There we go, finally. So that particular hand swap was not fun. I'm gonna go ahead and chalk that up to maybe needing to heat the hands up a bit, but still, I don't always love it when it feels like that's just a requirement now. So let's see, let's get this sword. Oh, did they do this pop off? No? Okay. So we got to get this in here. Feels a little, oh, that's not too bad. Okay. Man, that really, you hear that? Really, really tight grip on there, but that means that she will definitely not lose it. But yeah, all right, so we got the sword in her hand. That was a little more difficult than I would have liked. All right, there you go, Casca. Looking pretty cool. Oh, we better try the helmet, right? So the helmet is basically a separate head. See, there's the ball socket, but I do really like before I put anything on there that like there's no head pieces in here. Oh wait, there's the hair. Can that come out? No. Oh, so I was so close to saying that this is a huge improvement over the SH Figuarts. Actually, let me grab that. So here's the helmeted head for the SH Figuarts guts. So when you pop the faceplate off, you don't get an empty helmet completely because there's still ears in there. So it's kind of hard to get him in a pose where he's just holding the helmet and it's not even fully accurate because, you know, part of the helmet is on the faceplate. So if you've seen some of my custom videos, you know that's something that I really like to be able to do with figures. I like them to be able to hold their helmet if they have one. So with Casca, it's definitely more forgivable. You know, on camera, you can like barely even see the hair poking through there. So I think you could still get away with her holding the helmet just fine. But I don't know. It would have been nice to be able to pop this out or like just make this part of the faceplates that go in there. Like, would it have been really too much to just... Although that does look nice. You know, I'm trying to be respectful, you know, like decisions are made during production. We all have the benefit of hindsight as toy reviewers. I didn't put this in right, did I? Okay, this part pops out. So the whole piece pops out. So yeah, you do kind of lose that. So you can't really pop that out and pose her with the helmet. It's got to stay in there. But that is how you properly put the faceplate in. That was a pretty tight fit. That means it will stay, so that's always good. There. Cool. All right, let's try a head swap. Oh, that came off really nicely. Pop this in. Yeah, okay. Head swap was way better than the hand swap. This looks great. I'll do a comparison in a minute, but I'm actually really glad that that they went with this helmet because it actually makes her significantly different than the Figma. So overall, this figure is pretty fun to handle. I am still super disappointed about the lack of an ab crunch here, but it still is fun to pose. Feels pretty good to handle. The hand swaps are a little scary, but helmet swap was fine. So overall, I would say in terms of handling and just playing around with the toy, I give this a pretty good. And the rating starts to plummet as I can't get her to stand. Nah, it's fine. It's fine. So handling, pretty good. About the quality of plastic and materials and the stuff she comes with. So we were mostly just looking at handling before. Let's actually take a good close look at the figure. And I mean, this paintwork is fantastic. Like, I had some problems with the... knock some stuff over. I had some problems with the guts, like the fact that, like, you know, some of the buckles on his boots and pants weren't painted, and that was pretty disappointing. It's like they just kind of stopped painting once they got down here. But with Casca, I do not see any missing paint. As far as I can tell, everything looks really, really nice and very clean too. Even like those little tiny details on the armor there. Looks great. This is mostly my diorama's fault. I'm having trouble getting her to stand because she's got those little tiny feet and this is kind of an uneven surface. That's not her fault though. Okay, accessories. So we talked about the helmet a little bit, but just to show it up close, it is a great looking helmet. And the visor pops up, which is nice. And that front helmet hair is hidden enough, I suppose. We've also got We've also got this little piece of hair here, which is meant to go on after you put the helmet on. That I really appreciate. So you can definitely, like, if they had left this on the helmet, that would have been really annoying for doing any kind of poses where she's holding it. Two faceplates. I'm a little disappointed here. I mean, these do look great, but it's like, you know, with some better toy engineering, this really could have just been one faceplate that goes into the helmet. Like, I think we'll look at them in a minute, but I think the Berserk Figma's handled helmets so much better. I mean, these do look really nice, but it's disappointing that these are our only alternates. I would have liked, Casca's a really great character. She displays a wide range of emotions throughout the course of the story, and it would have been nice to get a little bit more of that here. Her sword looks great. No complaints here. It's a very, very nice, simple design. Perfect length for either one-handed or two-handed use. And we got hands, of course. Lots of hands. So these are really tiny and like none of them really have much paint hits on them or anything, but they look nice. They're just little gloved hands. We got relaxed, splayed open, or, like maybe like crouching with your hands down, two gripping hands, and fists for the many, many times she punches guts. Poor guy. Oh, and I forgot because I set it off to the side. She comes with this lovely wired cape. This looks so good. Here, let's pop this on here. Slide it right over the neck. Pop it back on. There we go. So in the promo shots, I was a little worried because like I thought the figure's head looked a little big, but I think it was just like they maybe they hadn't quite figured out the cape and how to get it to sit right, because looking at her now, this looks great. This really completes her look for sure. I really, really like this. It's got a nice strong wire. And you can just get all the nice little folds in there and have it sit on her the way you want it. I can't believe I've been going the whole video without this on her. This looks so good. And what a great little companion piece to Guts's cape here. I love that, they got the Band of the Hawk crest on there. This really just like ups the what do you guys what do the kids say? This really ups the aura of the figure quite a bit, I think. Very, very cool. Let's set that there for a moment. Because I think part of the value proposition of this figure is, should you get it if you have the Figma? So here's that. I actually am happy to have basically like another version of Casca from the Golden Age. The main difference here being that, this figure's older, it's a little smaller, but it is cool that it has Casca's other helmet. So a little nerdy Berserk lesson. This helmet is what Casca has for kind of the earlier parts of the Golden Age. Like the very first helmet you see her with is this like really rough looking leather one that doesn't look like it helps that much. And then she's got this for quite some time. I guess we could say she probably lost it when she and Guts fell over the cliff. And then this is what Casca has at the Battle of Doldry. I really like this helmet with the feather. Very nice. So yeah, so here's the Figma. Let's do some comparisons. Get this off of the stand. So the Figma is more based off of the art style of the movie, which I think like really they like made Casca's skin like way too bright in those, but still it's a nice figure. This is like over 10 years old, but still moves great. I say that as I literally just popped a ball socket out. There we go. So naturally the plastic skirt limits articulation a little bit, but look at this. I never realized just how clean that was. It's been a while since I played with this figure. Look at how clean this cut is. You can't even see it. That's awesome. It's not much range, but like imagine like this level of effort on this newer figure with modern, action figure engineering capabilities. Like this like second layer here is a floating piece. So you get like really great movement. Despite the fact that I keep popping this ball joint out. Very old figure, But yeah, so it is funny, like like if you could like merge these two figures together, you'd have like the perfect Casca. Being able to, like swap both helmets and everything, the right skin tone, but with this nice bit of engineering here. This one's limited because the shoulder pads are attached to the arms, so they kind of get in the way a bit. Yeah, you can kind of, you kind of push it up out of the way, and then you get the full range. What is going on with this ball joint? Yeah, that is, I guess it's just old. That's too bad. I might need to see if I can tighten that up a bit. Yeah, this is still a great figure. Like, if you're like, oh, I've already got a Casca, I don't need another one, you're probably fine. This is a nice figure still, even now. Like, I mean, when you look at these side by side, like, the face is way better. Definitely like the face, the wired cape, the cloth skirt, all huge improvements over the Figma. But I really can't get past this. This is bugging the hell out of me. Still, though, if you don't have a Casca, I would go for this one. Overall, I'd say it's an improvement. It is funny, though, looking at these two. This Casca looks younger, but I guess in theory, this Casca is slightly younger because this is her earlier in the story. Whereas this Casca is from later in the story, because you can tell by the helmets. I don't know what I'm talking about, but yeah, still, I think overall the figure is a pretty good value. Like, it is pricey. Like, SH figures have gotten crazy expensive for what they are. But, you know, this is the only way to get a Casca now. So I'd say overall it's pretty good. Let's move on. All right, let's take a look at how she scales up, and we'll start with the obvious. How does she look with other Berserk figures? And she looks great. She is scaled exactly like you hope she would. Now, I don't know if you're gonna like mix and match between the Figmas and SH Figuarts, depending on what you have, but yeah, I mean, like the Figmas, you know, they're older, they got tiny faces compared to the SH Figuarts, so like, I don't know, and I don't know if they would look great together, but as far as height goes, you know, they're fine. It all looks good. Here she is utterly dwarfed by two of my customs. This is my Dovahkiin on a Savage Crucible body, and this is my just big old Barbarian on the Nota home body. Here she is with some other fantasy lines. We have a Mythic Legions Knight. We have Zezre Studios Gold Hilder. We've got a Mythic Legions 2.0 body. And we've got an Animal Warriors of the Kingdom. I mean, she's small. Like, you know, she's an import figure. She's an SH Figuarts. She scales great with like Figma and, you know, other import figures like that. But I don't know. She could pass for like an athletic halfling maybe. But yeah, I just thought it was cool to show that. Actually, I think she does look okay with Mythic Legions Knights. I mean, we see Casca taking down Knights like twice her size all the time. So I think if you've got some Mythic Legions Knights, you could totally, you know, do some photos of her fighting one of those guys and it would look just fine. All right, as always, we will wrap up by putting her in the case. Let's get you in there next to your boy. Oop. There we go. All right, looking good. So I am not sure what I'm going to do with this display because we got the other Golden Age trio over here, and I feel silly having both. So I don't know. I've thought about maybe like kit bashing, you know, one of the Golden Age trios to be kind of a like an alternate universe version of them where things worked out a lot better, and then maybe they could hang out with this team or something. I don't know. We will see. I will cross that bridge when the SH Figuarts Griffith gets here. But yeah, for now, Berserk display is looking good, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.